Hey guys! Today we'll talk about a very interesting topic regarding Grand Theft Auto, and specifically about the films that inspired the developers from Rockstar Games when they created their games. It's no secret that every game from this studio has a huge number of references and Easter eggs, including to famous films and TV shows. For example, the scene in which Trevor, before killing the owner of a strip club, asks one of the dancers where his office is very similar to a scene from the movie Drive. And although they may be a topic for another video, in this case we will consider only those on which the plot was based. The first Grand Theft Auto game was released in 1997. Since that time, the engine, graphics, and plot development have changed in the GTA series. But the concept of the game remained unchanged: car theft. And despite the banal story for crime films, there is only one film that can rightfully be considered fundamental to the entire Grand Theft Auto series. The film was released back in 1977, and its plot begins with the fact that the daughter of a respected and rich man, not wanting to enter into a marriage imposed by her parents, runs away with her lover. After stealing her father's Rolls-Royce, they head to Las Vegas to get married in secret. Her fiancé immediately gives chase to the fugitives in a stolen car. The groom's mother steals a police car to catch up with her son. A policeman wanting to get his car back chases them in a confiscated bus. And on top of that, the main characters are also being chased by various weirdos who want to receive a reward of $25,000 for capturing the fugitives. Why not a story for a GTA side mission? But the main reference to this film lies on the surface, because it is called Grand Theft Auto. However, the plot of the original GTA is not about family drama at all. The game took only the name and the concept of car theft from the film. In GTA, the player needs to engage in bank robbery, shootouts with gangs, chases with the police, and other gangster affairs. These kinds of missions were inspired by the movie Taxi Driver. And the main character of the film, Travis Bickle, became the prototype for the game character with the same name, Travis. The game also contains references to other films. For example, in one of the missions, the main character needs to drive a bus at a speed of at least 50 miles per hour to avoid the detonation of a bomb. This is a clear reference to the film Speed starring Keanu Reeves. The following games in the series Grand Theft Auto London 1969, Grand Theft Auto London 1961, and Grand Theft Auto 2 also contain a large number of Easter eggs and references. For example, the promotional poster for GTA London 1961 refers to the poster for the film Get Carter, but all these references are not related to the plot of the games themselves. However, the missions in these games are similar to the missions from the original Grand Theft Auto, which cannot be said about the next part, Grand Theft Auto 3. In an interview with IGN, Sam Houser described the game as follows: "The game is obviously an homage to gangster movies, and we wanted a presentation to match, I guess. A lot of the game's business is inspired by fantasy or gothic imagery. We've always been more concerned with contemporary culture, and we've always been very into movies. DMA's and Rockstar's ambition with the game was to make the first interactive gangster movie. To do this, it needed characters, personality, and very high-quality presentation. What it gives the player is a more engaging experience than I've seen before, and one that we think is genuinely original." Indeed, GTA 3 is imbued with the spirit of classic gangster films. This can be seen both in small Easter eggs and in missions that completely repeat moments from these films. At the same time, all these missions are harmoniously combined with each other, creating a coherent and memorable original story. The plot of the game is based on the film Payback, and its main character, Porter, played by Mel Gibson, became the prototype for the main character of the game, Claude. The film begins with the fact that during a robbery of Chinese drug dealers, Porter's partner betrays him, appropriating the protagonist's share, and his own wife puts several bullets in the back of her once beloved husband. After Porter comes to his senses, he embarks on a path of retribution, wanting to return the stolen money. GTA 3 begins in much the same way. Claude and his girlfriend Catalina, along with an accomplice, rob a Liberty City bank. Already on the way out, when the job is done, Catalina suddenly turns and shoots the main character.
"Sorry, babe. I'm an ambitious girl. You're just small time."
But Claude manages to survive. He miraculously escapes a 10-year sentence and begins to take revenge on everyone who betrayed him. When Porter crosses the path of the mafia organization, they decide to eliminate him by attaching an explosive device to the phone in his house. In a similar way, Salvatore Leone decide to get rid of Claude in the Last Request mission by planting explosives in a car that the main character needs to take to a junkyard. Maria Latorre, Salvatore's wife, warns Claude about this, and in both cases, the characters manage to avoid the explosion. Later, the main character also meets a Yakuza woman named Asuka Kassen, who is based on the character Pearl, and although the character in the film belongs to the Triads, they have similar personalities and appearance. In one of the missions, she tortures Miguel, the protagonist's partner who betrayed him along with Catalina during a bank robbery. This scene is also a reference to the film. But Payback isn't the only movie Rockstar took inspiration from for its game. An equally significant contribution to the plot and characters was made by the famous film Godfather. Salvatore Leone was based on Vito Corleone. They are similar in appearance. Both were Sicilians and headed powerful clans of the Italian-American mafia. Both Salvatore and Vito were very respected and influential people, and lived in their own mansions with similar interiors. Also, both characters had sons, so Michael Corleone, one of the sons of Vito Corleone, became the prototype for Joey Leone.
Hey, I'm Joey. Luigi said you were reliable, so come back later, there might be some work for you.
In Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, which takes place in 1998, 3 years before the story of Grand Theft Auto 3, there is another character who belongs to the Leone family and also heads one of the clans of the Sicilian Mafia. His name is Leone, and he's Salvatore's uncle. This character is heavily based on Don Osvaldo Altobello and Don Licio Lucchese from The Godfather Part 3. At some point, Uncle Leone began waging a hidden war against his nephew, with the goal of taking over the underworld of Liberty City. Don Altobello was also a close friend of the Corleone family and waged a hidden war against Michael. And from Don Lucchese, the game character received his appearance. Some of Leone's traits are based on Junior Soprano from The Sopranos, both uncles of respected mafia members who tried to kill their nephews. Speaking of The Sopranos, it is one of the most successful and highly rated HBO series, and of course, it didn't go unnoticed by Rockstar. The main character of the series became the prototype for the character Tony Cipriani, who is found in several missions of Grand Theft Auto 3, but is of greater importance in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, because there he acts as the protagonist. The similarities are noticeable starting with the name, where in the series it is Tony Soprano, and in the game it is Tony Cipriani.
This is Pop's capo, Tony Cipriani.
Yeah, I'm Tony Cipriani.
Their characters have similar personalities. Both are members of the Italian mafia and have the rank of capo, meaning they are key figures in crime families. Another similarity lies in their relationships with their own mothers. Each of these mothers is strict, selfish, and openly dislikes her son.
You could learn a thing or two from Giovanni Caccia. He calls his mother every day.
He calls her every day.
She constantly reproaches him and cites other people as an example, in particular, his father, whom she describes as a real man and a worthy person, which Tony himself, both Soprano and Cipriani, in her opinion, does not at all correspond to.
Well, if his father was still alive, you can bet your boots he'd show more decency and respect for his mother. He was a saint.
Your father, God rest his soul, wouldn't let no one run him out of his own home.
Ma!
But unlike you, your father wasn't yellow.
Now that my father's dead, he's a saint. When he was alive, nothing.
In the series, she approves his murder, and so does Cipriani's mother, who enlists mercenaries to eliminate Tony. The previously mentioned Maria Latorre, Salvatore Leone's wife, was based on Adriana La Cerva. They have similar facial characteristics. They are similar in personalities and choice of clothing, especially preferring tiger colors. They are both lovers of mafia members, and at the same time, they often conflict with their men.
I'll knock you into next week if I hear another word from you.
Oh, that's right, Big Dick. What are you gonna do, hit me?
Why, I oughta.
That's the only time you touch me these days.
Another character in GTA 3 and GTA LCS is Ray Machowski. His image was taken from another series, Columbo, although the character himself could have been borrowed from The Sopranos, where there is a similar corrupt policeman, Vin Machiasen, who works as an informant for the mafia. The game also contains several plot points that were copied from the series. In Liberty City Stories, there is a mission called Making Tony, in which Cipriani becomes a made man. And the way it happens is very similar to the scene in The Sopranos, in which Chris Moltisanti also became a made man. In both cases, members of the younger generation of mobsters are met in a car by members of the mafia, and without explanation are taken to the ceremony.
Tony, my boy, today's the day you're being made.
In one episode, Tony Soprano instructs his people to take a car to a car crusher to get rid of evidence.
Get him out of here. Get rid of him. Bring his car to the salvage crusher.
A similar mission was in GTA 3. Junior Soprano, the boss of the DiMeo crime family, one day goes to prison. There is a similar moment in Liberty City Stories, when Salvatore Leone was temporarily behind bars. And in both cases, the main characters visited their bosses. An interesting fact is that Frank Vincent, the actor who played Billy Batts in the film Goodfellas and voiced Salvatore Leone, later played the role of Phil Leotardo in The Sopranos. And the poster for the in-game movie Bad Fellas, which features Salvatore Leone, references the film Goodfellas, and actor Ray Liotta, who played the main role in the film, later voiced Tommy Vercetti, the main character of GTA Vice City. And while we're on the subject of Goodfellas, there's another reference to the film in Liberty City Stories. In one of the missions, Tony participates in the elimination of Joseph Daniel O'Toole, a man who had common dealings with the mafia, but was considered unreliable. He is invited to go for a ride under the pretext of being accepted into the family, and the unsuspecting character agrees to the offer. He is then taken to Harwood Auto Crasher and Junkyard, where he is killed. This is similar to the story from the film Goodfellas, where under the same pretext, the mobsters take Tommy DeVito away and then kill him. In the mission, A Walk in the Park, Don Salvatore Leone tasks Tony Cipriani with killing the town's mayor, Roger Hull, while he is on his daily jog in Belleville Park, accompanied by his guards. This mission is a reference to the movie Leon, where Leon is training his protege Matilda to shoot with a sniper rifle, and her target was some politician who was also jogging accompanied by security in New York Central Park. In a mission called Grease Sucho, Tony Cipriani, in order to gain the respect of his mother, goes to a car race in which he intends to defeat Dan Sucho. This mission is an homage to the 1978 film Grease, where the main character, played by John Travolta, is named Danny Zuko and owns a hot rod vehicle named Greased Lightning. Dan Sucho and his Thunder Rod are obvious references to the film. The next film is Scarface, starring Al Pacino. In GTA 3, most of the songs from the film are played on the Flashback FM radio station. And in GTA LCS, Uncle Leone, in the mission The Sicilian Gambit, tells Salvatore Leone that every dog has his day.
Every dog has his day.
Much like Tony Montana asks Mel Bernstein, every dog has his day, huh, Mel?
Every dog has his day, huh, Mel?
But the film's biggest influence was on the next game in the Grand Theft Auto series,